But at the Winter Royale, he actually did very, very well with the character. Although he's not opening up with that against Shadra here. This is all right. Blasters is the new meta. So, PJ, why is Blasters suddenly viable?
Suddenly viable is interesting because it got buffed and you have a lot more conversions now. So obviously sidelight is a really big deal.
Yeah.
You get sidelight, side air, and that is a really great poke tool. And Acno kind of showing off the strength of not only being able to cover the ground, but also jumps and dashes a lot more consistently with the poking sidelight into side air. And we get a lot of down airs and downlights weaved in between. And overall, Diana is in a great spot. We see Balloon Boy in North America play a lot of Diana. But Acno's like, I'm, friendship with Priya is over. I'm back on Diana.
Which is a surprise. I mean, Acno has played Blasters before. The thing that makes the most sense to me is the bow with so much Kaya experience.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I think that while Chakram has been what everyone has been talking about, Blasters getting another combo starter in neutral is so fascinating to me that we even saw it starting to be picked up kind of as a counter pick, like you said, for Balloon Boy at the Royale, right? And so maybe Acno is bringing this out in preparation. Nice up with that D-Light Cider, that if he can get through Shadra with it, maybe this is what he wants to fight Chakram with. So we'll have to see. But focusing on the match right here now, 2-2. Shadra on the Donatello, so we've got, that's an epic crossover from Mirage. We've got Scythe, we've got Spear. And some signatures that are very good at covering grounded. Oh no.
That sends straight downwards. You have to weapon toss to avoid it. Trying to line up the down air there. The side air sends into the stage. Acno had an opportunity to steal a
I thought a ground pound was going to happen there.
Yeah,
I was like,
so
that's like the most disgusting spike angle you could get off of bow neutral sig.
Nice avoidance, and that's what I'm talking about, like covering landings or overshoots or undershoots with sidelight. Dashback sidelight being a conversion tool into side air now is a really big deal for Blasters. And nice baiting the weapon pickup there with the ground pound. Acno's unarmed and a GC breakdance takes it.
Wow, and great spacing there too. I think that covered even if he tried to like snap to the stage with dash. I think it still would have hit his head. So he would have had to like get on stage and then dash dodge. Ooh, down sig. That's a Diana classic.
Have to be so careful when you're trying to push into the corner against Diana. Diana can flip it, similarly to what Teros can do, for example.
Yeah, there's some signatures in the game where I'm like, at this point, it's 2025. Are we still getting hit by that? And,
yes,
and the answer is yes.
Yeah.
You can get cheesed still. that does happen. And especially if it's not frequent enough, right? Like if you don't open up the game holding the side of the stage, dash dancing, and then spot dodging until they run to your down sig. It'll catch you off guard once or twice a set. So let's see if Acno can continue with some success there. He's opening up with a lot of dash forward down lights. The reward is very high, obviously, if you get dash jump recovery like he just does there. Not going to knock out quite yet on Demon Island, but great damage regardless.
Shadra punished that so proficiently there, and that end sig doesn't connect, or I think that might be down sig. I forget the way the sigs look in this signature kit, but nonetheless, Acno avoiding that signature once again, gets the unarmed end light there. Or sorry, Nair, and now with the Blasters online, looking for downlight or sidelight into side air. You whiff the side downlight, you get hit with the side air.
You tried another down heavy. I appreciate it. I respect that. I guess he looked at that situation and he was just like, okay, he recognized that in terms of tempo, he was behind 150 damage.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get that early stock there with the down heavy instead of risk going for the weapon and playing for the 50-50 with how much damage he was behind. And then goes in for the slide charge down heavy. And Acno reacts perfectly to that, spot dodges it, and gets out of the way. Tried to catch him off guard, didn't work out, but I like the idea. We're going back to Demon Island for game 2.
3, 2.
Yeah, we see no legend swaps as well, so this is kind of like what we're ride or dying for sure here. See weapon pickup here. Now Shadra having to land versus the Blaster is not a very comfortable place to be, especially on the unarmed, having no disjointed hitboxes to get yourself back down. But as soon as you pick up the Scythe, you get the offense going, and you get a lot of damage there. You make the damage even, but Acno lands back down with a D-Light side air for some damage, and we're in a pretty scrappy game number 2 start here.
It's interesting because watching Acno play Blasters, I'm just kind of like, this is just Blasters before the sidelight. Like we saw sidelight come out like once, but he's still mostly playing neutral with downlight as his opener, which has its pros and cons. High damage, great combos. If you miss it, you're a sitting duck for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
But he's been doing great with it, and now that he's over with the bow, he's going to down sig again. Yeah. So you're at the side of the stage, and it's crazy is that Shadra went in for the punish on that down sig and just messed up and ended up losing the stock anyways. But at least he didn't get hit by the spike.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, because like the way that shot, I think he tried to punish with unarmed haymaker. That sent you at the angle the signature would have sent you at anyway. So it just was perfect for Acno to capitalize on that edge guard. And now Shadra down a stock looks to fight back with the scythe. We see the weapon toss away. Acno gets back and drifts backwards on the recovery to get some extra damage.
Doing?
Yeah.
what are these? These are some crazy unarmed. That's you're sidelining forward into blasters. Okay, so he might be a little tilted. Okay, finally picks up his spear. That was some behavior for sure. Goes in for that downlight there. Acno does get sidered. Okay, Shadra does take the stock, but a little interesting.
Yeah, we see a big weapon starve there, and Shadra picks up the spear once again. So looking to compete with that grounded state. The sidelight, downlight into Cider for some damage onto Acno. Acno didn't give the dodge, didn't want to take the extended string there. It could lead to a lot of damage. Unarmed sidelight ushers Shadra off stage once again, but it spawns near Shadra, the new weapon, and Acno still unarmed.
Okay, we've stabilized. I like the play that I'm seeing from Shadra before. Yeah. I was very questionable on the unarmed before. Daylight dash up recovery will take out the stock, but Shadra was able to get a good amount of damage. Now, Acno starving. What's he priming? Looks like it's the blasters, so he's going to be staying on these for a while.
Shadra looks to fight back with the unarmed here, but a similar start to the game in this last stock and getting juggled by the blasters, but fights back with the side sig. And another one! Why not let it rip twice? You haven't proved you can avoid it yet. The recovery doesn't hit as Acno gets back, tries to fight back unarmed, but doesn't get anything.
Like the RPS there, the sidelight, Shadra was able to punish, goes over the spear. Side sig has been doing better for him when it comes to actually connecting with the neutral signature. Is still there to have the spears come out of the ground, but man, that was so much damage from Acno. Spot dodge is trying to get a reaction against the Sair, no recovery. Goes for a down air, expecting a dodge down, and sidelight and a recovery. Yeah. Trying to go for a read there. Not as like, it's not true in the same way that D-Light recovery is, but it's very good, very quick, so it's a small dodge window that you have to be able to get out of there. Went for the down stick again, gets the recovery instead.
I love the attempt.
I think even down stick from center stage would, You know, Shadra is very curiously running unarmed into Acno's Diana in the corner.
Yeah.
He keeps doing it, and I go, it's worked out for you maybe once.
Yeah.
We're gonna see that in the replay here, I think.
It's not even like he's overshooting with a move and like using some sort of disjoint. Like if you're doing that with like scythe side air, it's like okay, that's reasonable. But
yeah, like what are you dash jumping in there for?
Yeah.
There's no weapon on the screen. Acno's got Bo in the corner. He's basically like he's laid the bear trap on the ground.
Yeah. And you watched him do it. Like
he's making eye contact with you as he opens it up and sets it and goes like, "Are you gonna step in it?" And then he's like, "Heck yeah!" Just flies full force.
That's my bear trap, actually.
and then screams out in pain. It's like, "How did this happen?"
Again.
Well, now we've gone over to default Mirage here, but it's same character, same kit, same stance. Neutral and recovery. The thing that's the biggest change here is that we're on a snowy landscape of the World's End.
Yeah.
So down to will knock out a yellow. Diana's specifically.
Exactly. And we get a nice edge guard there with the pogos on the spear, so that time Shadra is able to have a stock lead now, and Acno, we'll see how he's able to rebuttal, because we haven't seen Acno play with a disadvantage here. And fighting off stage like this is very tricky, and somehow they both make it back. Why are we down airing again? Shadra gets another down air, the nair.
Bring it back to the stage. Yeah. Okay. That's the kind of game that we're playing right now. I see Acno. All right, sidelight Sair though. And now, down air would be pretty huge, but faces the wrong way. Dare does not have the force to dribble off the stage into a Sair true combo. It's a weird range where that ends up working out. Weapon throw catches the jump. That's going to be it's the wrong way. Whoa, this is hard to commentate, BJ.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
no,
again,
he did it
again. Bear trap, dude. This time you put a branch on it, but still it's a bear trap.
Yeah,
it's a bear trap.
It wasn't exactly like that. That was a little bit of an outplay
on
Acno,
on it. Yeah.
But on Acno's part, but still, it's funny. It's like I just feel like when in doubt. Oh wow, that's still connected.
Fully connected. No, the multi-hits didn't drop either, and we get a recovery, and there Acno tries to fight back with a bow down air. This is a strange game of Brawlhalla, but so
very
far
heavily in Shadra's favor.
Yeah, exactly. If we get down to the really nitty-gritty weird match, this is where Shadra starts to win for sure.
The early stocks are definitely going to his favor. Gets a bunch of damage from takes a bunch of damage from Acno and unarmed. Yeah, no, the bow down stick's not as good at white, but you know what? Actually, it's still pretty good. The weapon throw coming through there, managing just to barely connect, and Acno gets the ground pound on the side.
Pounded KO.
That was an awesome punish.
Yeah.
I've never seen Mirage sidestick punish quite like that. He like weaved around it and then caught him at the end of the animation.
At like 70 damage or something, like before 100 damage easily. Ridiculous.
Acno is cheesing him. That is a lot. Down sigs and ground pounds. Okay, let's see if Shadra can close this one out here.
You forfeit the ground to Acno. Acno walks into the corner again.
Oh, no. Every time he goes to the corner, I'm like, oh, he's like, oh. That's huge.
Wait,
Sarah, the down air,
gets
the recovery, waits for the dive kick, switches over. Okay, so Primed Blaster. Not again. He's just... Dude, you're unarmed, Shadra. You don't have to do it. Okay, he manages to make it back.
Oh, no. Okay, we get some blasters now from Acno. Hasn't found a lot of success in this game, though.
The kicker here is that blasters have the same move. they have the same move. He's in the corner. He's going to down sig. I cannot believe that I just.
I didn't know where you were going with it. The thing is, but it happened.
Yeah, he acted a little bit faster than my slow buildup could do, because I'm just looking at the Sevilla like, no, guys, like, you think you saved yourself, but actually he still has the same move. It's worse.